Hey everybody, Pat Blocker here with the Peaceful Pause Method. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be talking about earning your dog's trust and the importance of emotional safety in training. So before we get to that, it would be really cool if you could hit like and subscribe, and that way you can keep up with what I'm doing, and maybe you can tell me what that is. So yeah, let's talk about the importance of emotional safety in training. I think if I had to choose one thing that makes the biggest difference in whether or not training is successful, would be for both the dogs and the humans, it would be that emotional safety. So that's because when a dog feels emotionally safe, they're not just calmer, but they're definitely more open to learning, and they're more responsive to the cues. And they're also more able to process what you're asking of them. So, yeah, it's not just a nice extra, it's actually, it it is the meaning of success for for training, and it's also the most ethical thing to do as well. So in the Peaceful Pause method, emotional safety isn't just a step in the process, it actually is the process. Uh, so if and what makes that important is that it's connection with our dogs, and it makes everything easier for them to understand. When they're feeling safe, we can be more connected, and everything becomes a lot easier. So it makes training more effective because you're you're creating a place for them to learn, a safe place for them to learn, and it's going to be free of fear and stress and confusion, actually. So, and when a dog doesn't feel safe, they're actually going to, uh, go into fight or flight. They're going to go into survival mode if they're not feeling safe, and so that's their nervous system, and it's a reflexive action. So involuntary, they don't have control over that. So if that also then means that the state of cognitive processing is really at compromise. So they just can't make decisions, and they so that takes a back seat to their feeling of safety. Actually, emotional safety creates faster learning, and that's simply because a calm brain is a thinking brain. Dogs have better retention. Safe dogs remember the lessons, not just the reactions that are involved. It makes for smoother communication, and if a dog trusts you, they're more likely to offer the behaviors instead of shutting down or maybe even pushing back. It makes also for more reliable behavior, because when the training is rooted in safety and trust, then the dogs can respond more consistently because they're choosing, and not complying out of fear. And if you think about that for yourself, if you think about someone who is trying to teach you something and they seem very frustrated and threatening, yeah, you're not going to be able to learn much in that situation. So we want to we want to get trust first and then teach. So one of the most common mistakes I see is really jumping into the training before the trust is fully established. So when I get it, when you're struggling with a behavior such as reactivity, you really want to fix it right away. But I always like to say slower is faster in dog training. So I really learned that training without the trust, it usually leads to frustration on both ends of the leash. Sometimes confusion too. So before I ask for anything, I want to watch. I want to look at my dog. I want to observe their body language, and they're letting me know whether or not they're ready for learning and if they feel safe. So I want to create a space where they can feel that safety. I don't want to put any pressure on them. I want to give them space, sometimes literally, because being in a dog's personal space can be putting pressure on them. So especially if you're standing over them and maybe barking out cues, that's not going to make them feel very safe. So it doesn't slow down the process. It actually makes it smoother and faster. Like I said, slower is faster in dog training. So if you can weave this emotional support into your training, then it's going to really make for more effective and pleasurable training for both of you. I have some practical ways of building safety into training. The first thing I want to do is use the peaceful pause, as in Pause. So we want to take a moment before we start. We want to take a moment to take a breath, and before you ask for your dog to respond to a cue or redirecting their behavior, it's really a small thing, but it resets your energy and helps you and your dog to be calmer. You always want to work below threshold. If your dog is too anxious or distracted, if they can't focus, then that's information for you. It's not that they're being stubborn or being naughty. They're giving you information. They're telling you that, hey, the environment is too distracting for me. So, pretty simple. Let's adjust the environment to accommodate learning. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. I would not take my dog to the dog park and try to teach them a recall. I might do that later in the training when they were really rocking that recall to up the bar, but I'm not going to start there because it's not going to happen. Your dog is going to be too distracted or maybe stressed if the dog park isn't a fun place for them. So always work below threshold. We want to set them up for success and reward them for that success, and then we'll gradually raise the bar on the behavior. We want to reward often and generously. I don't care if people call me a hot dog flinger or a treat dispenser. I'm paying my dog for learning, so that's okay. Um, and the reason for that is if a dog is rewarded for a behavior, they're going to repeat that behavior. It's that simple. Now, yes, we do fade out the treats and do intermittent treat schedules, but when we're first learning, we're treating often and generously. We also want to give our dog an out, which lets them step away if they need to, if they need space, if they're, for whatever, feeling pressure. You know, it doesn't require pressure. Training doesn't require pressure. It really requires patience and participation. So don't be afraid to let your dog walk away, watch their body language, see what they're feeling, what they're telling you, and make adjustments. And maybe they're telling you that, this training session's been going on a pretty long time and I'm a little fried. So we always want to end on a good note. So, I'm saying that we want to keep our training sessions short, and we do want to end on a high note. We want to end on success, because then everyone walks away feeling successful and not exhausted, overwhelmed, and frustrated. So I always like to say, don't make him do it till he gets it wrong. So I'm just saying that connection makes everything easier. When your dog feels emotionally safe, that's going to increase their ability to feel connected and to engage with you. The reactivity softens, the tension drops, and their body language is going to open up. You're going to see that they're more relaxed, and you're no longer managing the behavior, but you're working together as a team. So that's what the heart of the Peaceful Pause method is. It's really a framework that honors your dog's emotional experience, and it supports their learning, and it also fosters really long-lasting connection and communication. So if your dog feels safe, they can hear you more clearly, they can try new things. Most dogs with this method are like, what do you want me to do next? They're very engaged and happy to be engaged. So anyway, it's not just a matter of a well-behaved dog, but it's a happy team that's being successful. If you want to learn more about how emotional safety can fit into your training, you can contact me. You can book an initial consultation, and you can do that at my website, which is www.patblocker.com. You can email me at info. You can email me at info@patblocker.com. So put in the comments how you work with your dog and how you help to create an emotional safe zone for your dog when you're training. We'll see you next time. Lots of love to you and your animals, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.